Now, I just came back from a boxing session. We've done a light session this morning. And I like training solo when it comes to the boxing. It's my time to be present in the moment and really work on my skills, my craft, of course. But it's a bit of me time as well, which I urge you to try and find in your own life, is have something where you can zone out, reflect, and really use that time to pick up your energy and get ready for life. Like, that's the reason we train at such an intense level and we box at an intense level. It's so we can prepare for life and be ready for any adversities or challenges that come our way, but also so we can snap up opportunities. Now, man, I'm on here today. I'm here to tell you a story. And I remember I was in school. We must have been in around about S2 or 3, right? And it was Monday morning. Now, before the school bell at 9 a.m, I went to the back gate at the school where a few of my pals were, and we were smoking some joints and we were getting stoned before class, right? This was a time where the school was recognising that some pupils were coming into school stoned out of their wee box, and they were trying to put their foot down on it. Now, I went into my class. I had a double period. Off the top of my head, it was English, and our teacher at the time was a teacher called Miss Pollock. Now, I was sitting at the front of the class, and the task for the class was to read a book that the teacher has prescribed. Now, I was stoned, I was tired, it was Monday morning, I was young, hated school, had no energy, didn't want to be there. And at the time, I had quite long hair. Now, I'm sitting with the book open, right, like this, right, with my hair in my head over it, and I'm trying to sleep. Now, I thought I got away with it, right, but the teacher at the time, Miss Pollock, was aware that I was stoned. She thought I was stoned, right? That was her perception, and she knew that I was trying to sleep in class. So what she done after the first period is she went down and she called the head teacher, or one of the heads of our year. Now, he came into my class after break, which was a French class or something like that off the top of my head again, and he asked to speak to me in the corridor. Now, being a young guy, right, who has not been exposed to deal with conflict with strength and to really stand on what he believes, I folded under pressure and I told him that I was stoned and I was smoking weed. Now, me doing that, I get suspended from school for a week, and that was my last day in school that day. Now, the point being, right, and the reason I'm telling this story is not to tell you the story because I was getting stoned. It's to open up your mind a wee bit and to make sure that you're not being conditioned. Now, I didn't need to tell him that I was smoking or that I was stoned, right? It was none of his business. Yeah, he might have perceived that, but ultimately, he would have had no idea if I stood my ground and said no. We go all through our life trying to please people and trying to accommodate and trying to fit in with the masses, to try and not have or begin conflict. Now, I'm not saying go out there and start conflict, but what I am saying is when a test comes your way, or when someone stands in your way in any realm, right, or any area that you're trying to develop, especially when you're building towards your goals. In fact, that should be the major area, as you do not need to fold. If you know who you are and you know who it is that you want to be, and you know exactly what it is that you will and won't tolerate in life, then do not tolerate it. Do not bend your way to someone else's way of existence or try to please them, right, if it's going to stop you from achieving your goals. Put your foot down, get after it, and know that sometimes that the world is out there to condition you, and people go all through their life conditioned, avoiding opportunities, right? Not getting caught up in conflict, settling for less, settling for below average, right? And that is their life and their existence. And they're operating at that level until the day they die, never accomplishing anything major. And when your mind is conditioned, right, your subconscious mind is conditioned for weakness, for standards that are not going to get you to that next level, then you will fold under pressure Every time. Just like I folded when I was a wee guy and the teacher was asking me if I was stoned. Now, if I said to him, no, right, turn around and went back into class, that would have been the end of it. Nothing else would have happened. Sometimes that we make fear our God. Sometimes we place so much emphasis on what could happen, and that holds us back from being who it is that we want to be. That holds us back from really stepping into our potential. Sometimes we think too much and we think of the worst case scenario, but how many times has that worst case scenario actually come about? Now, you could be sitting there wanting to change your life, wanting to train for your first fight, wanting to get in the best shape that you possibly can, wanting to sign up for your first half marathon, but you're thinking of all the reasons why you can't, all the reasons why it can't be done. You're letting fear run your life. Now, I guarantee if fear is running your life in one area, it's going to be running your life in many areas. And a man who operates from fear is not a man to be respected. It's not a man to lead effectively. It's not a man who's going to tap fully into his potential. Now, for all my life, my childhood, when I was in high school, when I left high school, when I hit rock bottom, I avoided conflict. I tried to please everyone else. I tried to just fit in. I tried to make everyone feel better and lower myself to make sure that they were getting the best out of life. Right? And me doing so, it made me weak. It made me not being able to set my standards in life. I didn't want to go after my goals with full ambition and urgency. And I would try and accommodate everyone else in all situations. And when someone did disrespect me, I never stopped for myself. Now, as I started to grow and develop, I realised one thing is, men, we need to develop who we are. And when you set in your mind exactly who it is that you want to be, and the place you want to live from, people will test you. Circumstances will test you. But the perceivement that you need to have, or the way that you need to perceive the situation, is that is testing you to grow and develop your character and build you towards the person you want to be. But only you can decide who it is that you want to be, how you want to show up to life. And it's as simple as that. Now, you have a decision to make today. Are you going to continue to fall into the conditioned way that society's placed on you and always obtain average results and never get beyond the ceiling? Or are you ready to walk into your full potential and get the respect that you want, get in the shape that you want, get in the fitness frame of mind and get the results with your health and fitness that you want? Smash marathons, smash half marathons, fight for the first time, learn how to box, take action on your business, snap up opportunities that come your way, or you're going to fold under pressure. Because when you go after life with ambition and awareness, then you step into a new lane, and that new lane is where the real winners are. You leave behind the average men, the people try to hold you back, and you open up a new world of new opportunities, and you build up courage, and you're able to live from a place of boldness each day. That is how we create mental freedom. That is how we build champions of men and champion this current era of your life. It doesn't matter if you look back to your 20s, right, and you did not perform how you wanted to. You might be in your late 20s now, or you're 30 plus, you're 40 plus at the moment. It does not matter what age you are. It's how you perceive yourself to be and the beliefs that you have. And if you can change your beliefs, you can change your results. And it's as simple as that. Now, men, get after it today. I've got a wee bit of work to do the rest of the day. We've done our session this morning. We're up early, up at 4:30. We're reading, we're doing our business work, and we're building the program for our men inside the Leader 365 program. Now, get after it. Any questions, let me know.